It is October 27th, 2023. Wow, only like 9 weeks left in the year. Where does the time go when it's not around here? This is the Wrestling Inc. Podcast, SmackDown edition. Tonight, talking about the go-home show to the go-home show for Crown Jewel. They're taping the go-home show right now as we speak. Next week is pre-taped. And tonight, SmackDown was on FS1, which means lowest rating of the year, ? It's possible, which is a shame because Cedric Alexander and Dragon Lee put on a banger, a takeover quality match tonight. It was so much fun to watch. And we're going to dive in it. I'm Glenn, here with Issa, here with Flobo.
Hey.
All of us together. Good to see you both. It's been a while since the three of us all at once.
Oh, yeah. You let me drive the show last week. What were you thinking, Wrestling Inc?
Damn. I'm still riding high off Halloween Havoc on NXT on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Such a fun show. Such a good show. But before we dive into things, I think we got some news tonight.
That we do. Am I doing it? Let's do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Man, the top story for me this week is the fact that we have one of the quote-unquote big four. This is reported by Wrestling Inc., Survivor Series. My least favorite pay-per-view of the year, but one with legacy. And as of right now, Brock Lesnar, Mr. SummerSlam, and Roman Reigns have not been scheduled to have a match there. Now, can you really call Survivor Series a big four if two of the biggest stars in your roster is not going to be booked in the show?
It hasn't been a big four in years.
That part.
It's the truth. Like, look at Money in the Bank has been booked in a stadium for the last 3 years. Survivor Series hasn't. It's been booked in a regular arena. There's no junket. There's no nothing. It's just PLE. It's not a big four. The new big four is Money in the Bank with the other three that we already know.
I mean,
I thought we were all on the agreement that this was the new big four.
Yeah. I'm amazed. I really have been saying for months, Judgment Day versus Bloodline is where the money is, given how dominant both factions are, how popular they are in WWE. I think we're going to get a very weak Survivor Series War Games match if this is just Judgment Day against, a thrown together team.
But riddle me this there, Glenn.
Yeah.
If this is the case, right? Because we'd have to have these big pay-per-views all stretched out the year because of the Perth and Berlin and all that stuff. Does that mean Crown Jewel is our new four? Do we put that in the? We have to at this point because nothing going on at the end of the year. There's no December pay-per-view as it is right now.
Yeah.
Could be Crown Jewel. Riyadh season.
I mean, what are the ratings? I mean, do they care about the ratings on Crown Jewel? That's like the least.
No, but I think they tell the Saudi government that they're going to give them a WrestleMania equivalent show, and so you get these dream matches. You know what I mean?
So, Flobo, here's my conspiracy theory: they make Survivor Series worse, and they tell us no Roman, no Brock, so then go to the KSA and be like, "You see, you're the big four, Crown Jewel." And then once they get home, once they're allowed to leave the airspace and get on the plane and come back home, then they're like, "Yo, Roman, Brock, what do we got to do to make this happen?"
Wow, that is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, because it's posturing.
Yeah.
I remember when it was reported that Roman was not coming back until next year, and then he's shown up like 5 times after that was said. Just throwing that out there in case you still trusted their sheets.
You can't believe anything. This year I think the Puerto Rico show was in the top 4 of this year.
Which is funny because on paper it was like, oh, it's Backlash, okay, but literally it was the biggest show I've seen.
It was amazing.
Months. Oh yeah,
amazing.
Elijah Carrion on the track, man. Come on.
It was good.
Yeah.
But look, I think Money in my heart, Money in the Bank has always been a big 4 pay-per-view.
Interesting. I was a protester. I was a purist. I was like, keep it at WrestleMania, and then it became a thing. So.
Yeah, it's just such a fun match.
Yeah.
When they build it right. When they build it right, it's phenomenal. But we'll see. Maybe it's a big swerve. Speaking of which, what is the latest on CM Punk, the story that will never die?
Well, your boy CM Punk is out there being all Punk-like, and people are asking him about being at Survivor Series. It's at Chicago because it's now not longer a big 4. It could definitely be a space for Punk to really make his re-debut if that were the case. But of course, he gave us a swerve being like, oh man, it's just, tickets are sold out. It's hard to get a ticket to the show. I get it. Dad joke Punk. I'm all on board with that. But what I'm not on board with is his hoopla about CM Punk appearing at Survivor Series. Look, I actually am pro CM Punk, but also pro leaving when no one wants to see you no more. And that's what he should be doing right now.
If he has a sense of humor, I think Brock Lesnar guy, green shirt guy, invite your boy Phil to attend Survivor Series with you and just sit there in the front row.
He bought a ticket. And this surrounding.
I think it'd be great. I think if he's just trolling us all, if he has a sense of humor, that's the way to go. Issa, what do you think?
I don't care.
Wow.
All right, give it up for Issa.
CM Punk.
You're
I'm
tired
tired
of
of
CM
CM
Punk?
Punk
Yeah.
news.
Indifferent
Yeah,
Issa.
I am actually.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Because, like, why are we still talking about it? If he shows up, he shows up. If he doesn't, he doesn't. The speculating is just dumb.
We need someone new to speculate about constantly.
Yeah,
Now,
that
hey,
would be nice.
Heath Slater is a free agent and done with Impact.
right.
When's
Let's
Heath coming
speculate
back to
about
the
how
E?
many people are going to watch Collision tomorrow. Kenny Omega, MJF, that's a marquee match, and they're putting it on Collision. That's more fun to talk about.
Okay, we can talk about that if you want to. I mean, Phil was the last champion of Collision, had a big old X on his title and everything.
He's
Just-
still the real champ.
all roads go back to CM Punk.
Yeah, because you made it go that way, but
right. Yeah. Give him his own show. Yeah.
What's up with Randy Orton, the Viper?
Well, it's been a tragedy ever since Randy Orton was off television for months now. People thought he was done. People thought he would come back because, I mean, he is one half of the greatest wrestling match ever. But according to WrestlingInc.com, it looks like Survivor Series, again, that pay-per-view we keep talking about, could be a possibility, kind of, sort of, quasi-chance for the Viper Apex Predator to show up. Now, I would love to see Randy Orton. I think he deserves to have anything proper, a proper run, a proper send-off, something. But I don't know. He's kind of old school there, so I don't want to hold my breath.
I love that you brought up the greatest wrestling match. Like, it took me a second, but huge pop for
No,
that.
for a second I was like, oh, you're referring to the House of Horrors match?
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh, stop. Listen, I didn't mind that match, okay? Unpopular opinion, I actually did not mind the House of Horrors match.
Wow. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
I said mind. I said I didn't mind.
Okay,
I'm not saying I loved it. I'm not saying it's on my top. I think I didn't mind it for what it was.
Right. I took my boneyard match. It's fine.
I agree with Flobo though. I think that Randy has done so much for like throughout his career. He's just such a known name, and I just there's a part of me that is like, okay, follow your doctor's instructions. If you can't come back, you can't come back. But there's a huge part of me, a bigger part of me, that thinks that he deserves a final run, an official retirement match, just something. I would like to see him back. The way that he went out is not the way that I want to think. That's just the last of Randy Orton that we see. So I'm just hoping for a recovery and for us to see him again on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
gotta
like
be
to
weird.
call him Daddy Orton personally, but I'm not sure you guys are down with that nickname.
If I said yes, I mean, I would have raised questions, wouldn't it? Like, blowout.
I mean, it's weird that like doctors telling him never wrestle again.
Aren't doctors telling everybody that though at some point in their career?
And that's the crazy thing about it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a wrestler and a doctor says, oh, "Look, you can't wrestle again," and you look at Saraya, you look at Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, and you look at Big E possibly, you're kind of like, maybe I should try some kind of alternative way. You know?
But I feel like when you look at people like Saraya, Edge, or Daniel Bryan, Dragonson, the Dragon, whatever his name is now, I feel like these people lost a lot of years of their careers, and it will make sense for them to try to make this comeback where Randy went 20 plus years strong. So, you know what I mean? I feel like there might be a different way that they're looking at things, where if I'm an Edge, if I'm a Saraya, and I lost all of these years, yes, I would want to make a comeback. You know, does that make sense?
Right. No, I'm with you 100%.
I mean, we'll see. I think it'd be great to have him back, but at the same time, it's hard when somebody's, pushing 50 to be like, to make the case.
Not talk about age. I like to think of my Randy Orton as grown and sexy, but without having to put a number to the grown part of it,
He's kind of always he's always had a look like he was in his mid-30s, though, even when he was young.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some people that just always sort of look.
But his legs, though, those
but it's not his fault.
There with those legs, like, it's incredible.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Choke a bear with those legs.
Oh man, I have no comment.
I don't know where that came from.
Anyhow, happy 1989 Taylor's version day to you two both as well.
Well, you didn't wish me a happy Nadie sabe lo que va a pasar mañana day when Bad Bunny releases his album, but I see how it works around here. All right, got it.
Yeah,
Got
I
it.
can't even say that, but she's right.
I listened to the track you sent me. He's in WWE 2K23. You can get Bad Bunny now.
Yeah.
If you're not playing the Amazing Spider-Man 2 on PS5 like everyone else.
I'm Mauricio, okay? Like I don't you
Wow.
happy Taylor Swift me and not happy Bad Bunny me. That's that.
Well, we did a podcast on that day when it came out, did we?
Wow, Ken got canceled live.
I think you
It was
took the day
Friday
off.
13th. It was.
Didn't you take that day off?
I don't remember.
No, you
That was
did
too
because
long
that
ago.
was the night Flobo. Yeah, you took it off, so I couldn't.
You're right. I was in Florida listening to people that appreciate Bad Bunny and wish me. As a matter of fact, they didn't even have to wish me a happy Bad Bunny day because at midnight we were all sitting there waiting for the album to load so we could listen to it like real fans, you know?
So what's your report? A, B, C?
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh, wow.
If you compare it to his last album, though, like this
Yeah.
one is more like you wanna like dig into the lyrics, but this is like OG Bad Bunny rap, where the last album was more lovey-dovey and Caribbean. We're gonna party and get drunk by the beach. This
Right.
is legit rap, Puerto Rican rap, Bad Bunny.
So
and
no
it's
songs
fun.
about his mama this time.
About his what?
About his mama, like the
I don't think he
album had
sang
some-
about his mama. He sang about his ex-mama in the past.
Oh yeah.
So SmackDown tonight was on FS1 after drag racing regional qualifiers from Nevada.
Wow.
Solid lead in. What did we open with tonight? We opened with a contract signing. Roman Reigns and LA Knight
We
signing.
opened with Roman Reigns.
Well, yes, out there to sign a contract, a legal document, legally binding, with all of us and the TV audience as his witness. No notary needed. Roman and LA Knight signing their contract for the Universal Championship match at Crown Jewel. And guess what? It went awry.
Yep.
Shocking.
Hate him. I hate contract signings.
I know.
I like this one because it was different. Because you had LA Knight with the disrespect of Roman is going through it, and it was a back and forth. And Roman looked like you got beat verbally, but he beat down LA Knight. But contract signings to me make no sense because if matches can be made official over the break, what are we doing sitting down? It was all a time wasting thing. This whole episode had a lot of filler. That was the first time we saw.
It did. LA Knight went there and mentioned the suffering succotash promo to Roman Reigns to his face.
It's so dumb.
That promo was dumb.
It was dumb, yeah.
It was very dumb, but it's also dumb to bring that up when it was like 7 years ago. And he has so much material right now to play with. Like, you can use the you wouldn't be here without the bloodline. You can use that you never here to defend this title. You're holding it hostage. There's so many more newer material that LA Knight could have used for this. It was just all right, but it's not nothing that we haven't heard. Everybody brings up that line, but for somebody that keeps stealing the gimmick, you know, it doesn't surprise me that this is where he went.
Well, I actually liked it.
Of course you would.
I mean, I feel like here is the last time when everyone was in agreement that Roman Reigns was a joke, or that you think
7
he
years
is or
ago.
not.
Where was LA Knight 7 years ago? Why doesn't he talk about his past 7 years ago? You know, just throwing that out there.
He was in
What's he gonna say?
Impact.
It was in
maybe?
some.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even
Yeah.
called Impact. It was on some global BS wrestling federation. Like nobody was watching.
Yeah, Global Force Wrestling at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So you can talk about his past, but let's not bring yours up.
Well, if it was a suffering succotash, I would.
I'm just saying, there's more material to work with here.
What would you? Okay, so you
I
love
just
Roman
told
Reigns.
you, I would have brought up the bloodline. I would have brought up the fact that you're never here. You're holding the title hostage. Your title reign of 1,000 days. You haven't wrestled 900 of them. There's so much that you can say to Roman,
Jeez.
and you go to something that he said 7 years ago. It's whack. It's somebody
First-
that it's the promo that I will cut if I'm not winning the match at Crown Jewel. So good job, Elena.
I mean, Issa, first of all, how dare you think these negative thoughts even about our tribal chief?
My thoughts about Roman Reigns are not negative, but they're also not safe to be mentioned in this podcast.
Oh my God, what would Randy Orton think? I have no idea.
How dare you just disrespect Randy Orton's thighs like that?
Yeah, exactly. That poor bear. That poor bear died for your fantasy.
get a lot of comments here on Wrestling Inc. that I'm too biased. So I'm just telling you right now. I'm like admitting that there's a lot of things that you can pick from Roman in the way that he's performing right now.
Ooh,
and
she's criticizing his performance.
And he decided to go there. And it's weak. It's a promo that we've heard many people bring up throughout their reigns with like their, what do I want to say, their program with Roman. Like a lot of people have brought up. I mean, 50% of them are in AW right now, but it's true.
Okay. I thought this was a fun segment. LA Knight is on fire. Even when he told the crowd, not yet, to saying his catchphrase, said, whose game is it? Pause him, not yet.
Not yet, because he's not winning yet.
Yeah.
Or anytime soon, at least not for the next 2 or 3 years.
In fairness, and Flobo told me we think they made him look so strong in this promo and in that main event. It's just like, oh yeah, he ain't winning.
No, I mean, look, the promo LA Knight did, because to be honest with you, LA Knight has under the bright light to stumble a bunch of times in this promo, and as someone who stumbles a lot of my promos here in Wrestling Inc., I totally get it, but it makes him look weak. Even that backstage stuff he did a little later, we'll get to you, was weak, but he beat Roman 6 ways from Sunday today on the microphone because he cut him off. He made him look like he was nobody. The suffering succotash is still a very soft spot for him because he was just a shell of who he was now. But Roman got it back by beating him down. I thought it sold the promo well. I just don't understand why we're still having contract signings. And when Nick Aldis is like, well, my job here is done. Goodbye, fellas. Like, your people are beating each other up. What, you got to stop this? Protect your match? Does anyone care? Why do we do this? But yeah, LA Knight all day, man. He won. He won today.
It's kind of like, could you imagine at the end of 8 Mile, B Rabbit drops those bars. He's outside talking to Future. He walks to go back his job, and then Papa Doc and Free World just roll up and just beat the shit out of him.
Fade credits.
Next time I watch 8 Mile, that's what I'm going to imagine happens right after they go to the credits.
Eminem gets jumps. Roll credits.
Yeah. It's like he won the promo but lost the fight, which is more important. Yeah. I need to watch 8 Mile again. It's out on 4K Blu-ray. So hell of a promo though by LA Knight. Then we saw Santos Escobar and Carlito take on the Street Profits with Bobby Lashley. Street Profits getting that win. Issa, what'd you think of this match?
I mean, it wasn't there for them. LWO keeps taking L's, and we were there to promote Logan Paul against Rey Mysterio. I thought it was cool that they had an unannounced, I have everything muted on Twitter, so I wouldn't know, but I don't think Logan Paul was advertised for tonight. So I was actually shocked to see him because in the past we've seen the advertisers everywhere. Logan Paul's going to be here. Logan Paul's going to be here. So, but, so Logan Paul's right. So they're having the match, great match, whatever. But Rey's watching backstage, gets attacked by Logan Paul. Carlito takes off. We never see where that ends up, and Santos just gets squashed by the other two Street Profits. Like, what is this? And when did Carlito officially become LWO?
In Puerto Rico, didn't he? Did he wear the shirt at Backlash?
We didn't see him for like 3 months after that. No, actually, it's longer than that.
Michael comes to the cookout late. He's still my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, he shows up, gets his plate, and leaves, but he's still family.
Is this Logan Ray thing? They're really building this.
I hope Logan wins.
Do you think Dominic Mysterio interferes?
That'd be incredible, actually. The United States champions the championship needs something. We need to inject some life into it. It hasn't felt relevant in way too long. And I'm not hoping for a long reign, but I think that it could really be the one thing that makes people stop and look at it again. And then we can rebuild it from there, because it really has felt irrelevant for way too long. And what Gunther is doing with the IC championship, we should be able to replicate that here, but we haven't been able to do that in over a year.
Right. Dominic and Logan are just like toxic twins in front of an audience. Like, that could be mega if they're together. But we'll see. But what'd you think of this? How you feeling about the Street Profits, Flobo?
I still don't get it. I'm glad we got some progress. They have a new, more generic theme, and Bobby Lashley still being a manager, but it's not the Hurt Business. It's Street Profits with a new attitude. So let's be honest, we don't really know what a Street Profit was. We never did. We understand these guys were fun. We had the red cups, and they're like the guys that Go to your college, but never went to class. All right, great. Now they're heels and they're running with Lashley, but they're not dressing like Lashley. They're kind of doing the same thing while scowling at the audience. So I go, this is weird. I don't know if I'm support these guys or hate these guys, but LWO has been such a punching bag for so long. You didn't want to see these guys win. You just want them to break up because not only do you have Santos Escobar by himself, you still had Cruz Del Toro and Joaquin Wild backstage, playing Xbox. Like this whole segment to me just went off the rails. They need to separate these two sides, and it gives give me a reason to care or hate or like Lashley and the Street Profits, or else it just be a guy you trot out at 8:30 every week.
I feel like when we first introduced Lashley and the Profits, it was such a massive. I remember it was a huge pop. He pulls up in the black car, and he pulls in the Street Profits, and he's talking about bringing other people. He even mentioned Melo and Trick Williams. Like that promo sat with me because I was like, oh my god, what is he building here? This could be something. But it never went anywhere. Then they went suit shopping, and now I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like they just haven't been doing anything, and we still not established what they're all together. They're not going after any titles. They're not doing anything. Like it's not clicking for me as well, Flobo. I'm with you on that.
Then we had Roman and Paul Heyman backstage with Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Useless. We call him Jimmy Useless now.
Dang.
You're just really turning on the bloodline, Issa.
I told you months ago, that the bloodline doesn't exist. It's Roman is on his own. I've been saying that.
It's crazy to think.
It's all your boy Sammy saying fault.
I knew she was gonna go there.
I mean, Sammy did make it lame. Yeah, you're right. He
didn't make it lame.
No, he didn't make it lame. He broke it. As soon as they allow an intruder in, everything fell apart.
And now it's lame because you got half of the Uso crew. Like Roman comes every 6 weeks. He's off doing tribal stuff.
My favorite thing is Jay left. My favorite thing is Jay left to go to Raw and do the exact same thing he was doing, which is just getting in a tag team and taking a bunch of L's. Like I love the progression there, buddy.
No, Flobo, we cracked it. Roman's got his day job working IT. And he works around vacation. That's his true passion. Networks and routers.
Cloud
computing. Telling everyone to update their password, Boring. So when he gets time off, then he wrestles or shows up on SmackDown. But that's just fine. But Paul Heyman's like Paul Heyman is the bloodline at this point. We see him more. We see Paul Heyman more than anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Wise man.
Yes. Backstage, we had Kevin Owens. We had Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Owen clocked them. That was nice.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was good.
I wish I would have gotten to see Kevin Owens punch them both at the same time, like he promised.
He did. Yeah, just.
Shotzi versus Chelsea Green with Piper Niven. This was a
Chelsea
fun match.
Green.
I'm looking forward to that tag match on NXT on Tuesday. I think Thea and JC are going to win those women's tag team titles.
Interesting. That's a spirited choice.
Could be good.
I don't hate the idea, but I thoroughly disagree. Only because we're going to NXT content, right? Like we don't really know why JC Jane is like deciding to hang out with Chase U. So I feel like there's something really up with that part of them being like, hey, we're friends now. So I think it might explode. But no, I think Chelsea Green, which is someone I was worried about being lost in the shuffle, has found a way in a lane to really stick out. And you gotta love Samantha Urban's call about her when she comes down to the ring. That Chelsea Green, this is perfect. Yeah. So more of her, please.
I think Thea Hale, with her energy level, if she goes back to like study aid Thea Hale energy, and you bring that in the main roster with like bad girl JC Jane, like that is arena sized energy. Thea Hale.
Thea's a star. That's bar none.
1000%. I think I would have probably called Glenn Clasey, but when I saw them put the tag titles on the other half of Chase U, Doug Hudson and Andre Chase, and then they made this match, I also speculated for a second, are they going to do this and put all of this belt on Chase U, even if it's for a short period of time, just to get that? I think that JC, like I shared this with Glenn. I think her story is gonna be like she was trying to influence Tia, and somehow, this is my imaginary booking, somehow she's gonna see how Chase still accepts Tia, even through these changes
Yeah.
that she's going through, and finds the family, the people that are going to accept you no matter what, and ends up turning face, with Tia. That's what I think they're going with JC Jane, because she's going to see like, wow, these people really accept her for who she is no matter what, right? So I don't know which way I'm leaning towards as far as how it goes on NXT, but I think it could go either way. But it doesn't take away from how much I'm enjoying what Chelsea Green is doing.
Yeah, they're great.
And I love seeing Piper Niven on my TV
Love
every
Piper.
week.
But Chelsea's gimmick doesn't need a title. I don't know. I think it could be good. I'm looking forward to Tuesday, Halloween Havoc Part 2 on NXT. But this match tonight, it's good to see Shotzi getting a win. I felt like she's got momentum, and she was amazing as a host on Halloween Havoc with Scarlett. I think they're going to be phenomenal when we see them again next week. This was a fun match. Shotzi got a win. And then we heard from John Cena.
Oh my gosh.
We heard for him from way too long.
Solo is going to beat him. Solo is going to basically write him off TV with how bad Solo Sikoa beats up John Cena. This is how he leaves.
This was the moment I realized, this must be a double tape SmackDown. Because Cena came out and had a Sunday school sermon that went on for 11 minutes. I'm looking, Brawling Brutes, Asuka didn't have matches. I mean, Cruz Del Toro, pretty deadly. Charlotte Flair, the OC, they're all on the bench. So it's gonna be like, I'm going to try really hard.
Half of the roster is on the overseas tour.
I didn't like it. Such filler. But you're right.
But yeah, Cena was out there, crowd saying, "You still got it." I mean, we've heard a lot of this before. This was an AI Cena promo tonight that we got, but he's putting Solo over. I mean, this match at Crown Jewel, Cena's gonna leave, although the SAG strike might not resolve as soon as maybe we thought 2 weeks ago. But I think this is gonna be like when Kevin Owens beat up Jericho so bad we never saw him again on WWE television.
Yeah.
And that's good for Solo. Solo needs that. So Solo needs that dominant of a beatdown on somebody. And with John, that's a hell of a trophy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Solo came out, hit the Samoan spike on him today. But yeah, I think this was a very, very long promo.
Too long.
Dragon Lee versus Cedric Alexander. I forgot Cedric was still signed to WWE.
Oh,
damn.
wow.
You don't watch main event?
I do. Flobo, let me break something down for you.
No.
7 years now. 7 years now.
Okay.
I've been doing this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, I'm going to watch everything. Oh my God, I love wrestling. Maybe I'll even watch Impact. Maybe I'll watch NWA. It's going to be great. Now, I commit like 5 hours a week.
Okay. Here's a better question. Do you read the main event spoilers? Because he's there all the time. It's like him and Ricochet
I
show.
see it mentioned sometimes.
Okay.
But it's good and I like that he got a little video package before this. I knew he wasn't winning, but I like that they didn't just completely job him out on this.
Really? I thought he had a chance. I know. Okay, I know Dragon Lee is the hottest right now. I don't get Dragon Lee, but the fact he came out of nowhere, gave him the good handshake challenge, and got a video package, I was like, crucifix pin? Maybe?
That would have been an amazing swerve. That would have been up there with like Abaddon's debut in AEW, where it's like, oh, you really thought you knew how the match was going? And it was just like, oh shit. Like that would have been incredible. But no, with Dragon Lee coming up from NXT and being a Triple H call and yada yada, Dragon Lee was winning this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't get Dragon Lee.
Don't get it?
Mm-mm. I like his music, but I don't get him.
Nisa, what'd you think of this match?
I thought it was a fun match. Kind of brought me back to 205 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still don't understand. I don't know. I guess I don't understand how Dragon Lee gets quietly brought up when there's just a lot of people in NXT that feels like they'd be ready to be brought up, and they might make a bigger. No, please stop.
What?
And they might make a bigger impact, So I'm not sure, but it was a fun match, and like I said, it made me miss 205 Live for a second.
Yeah, this was good. This was fun. It was kind of had that 205 Live cruiserweight takeover match feel. But that being said, like Cedric got this was by no means a squash. Cedric, I think, this elevated Cedric in this match, even in losing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a reheat of Cedric or like we were saying before, the woes of the roster not being in the building. But Cedric, and you have people like that, like the Dolph Zigglers, right? The ones that can be reheated, the AJ Styles, the ones that can be reheated all the time. Those are totally invaluable for your roster. And I know Cedric will never win a world championship in WWE as it is right now, but it was cool that they're able to say, hey, Cedric, you got 2 hours. We'll make you as hot as you can for this. Go out and do it.
Yeah, we were going to give John Cena an extra 10 minutes. But Cedric, it's your time to shine.
Yeah.
But this was good. Bianca Belair cut a promo tonight and announced she's going to face Io Sky for a rematch at Crown Jewel for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
How do you guys think that's gonna go? If you had to guess right now, who do you think is gonna win that match?
If I was booking, it's Bianca. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Bianca fan. I think the setup with damage control, because Io can't cut promos on her own, is really cutting off her reign. And Dakota Kai can't wrestle. So Bayley's been her mouthpiece and her like jobbing meat shield. You get Bianca the title, you got Charlotte in the wings, you have Asuka wants something, you have Jade Cargill possibly. Just storyline wise, there's more for her to win.
What'd you think of Jade? I'm sorry. You said what were you gonna say?
No. I was just, you didn't tell me who you think will win this match. Glenn.
Oh, me? I think it's gonna be Bianca. It's a shame.
Wow, don't be so thrilled about it.
No, because I like Io, and I think that it's a weird position when you're a champ, but you've got somebody else so heavily invested in your role. Like, I think Io versus Bayley is what I want to see happen before Io drops that title. But to Flobo, what we were just talking about though, what do you think of Jade showing up at the end of NXT on Tuesday?
I think it was awesome because it wasn't like she showed up and was backstage or bought the ticket. They gave her the elevated metaphor platform. Is that, can we call that now? And then she was on the throne. I think it really says, look, she hasn't decided what her brand is, but whatever it's going to be, she's going to be a big deal. As it is right now, I'd much rather have her in NXT because there's a more formidable division, like a structured one. But like, it's cool the fact that you can roll the dice and be like, I don't know where she's going to show up.
Issa, who do you have winning this in Crown Jewel?
I don't know. There's a part of me, 50% of me would love to see Io retain. I'm a huge Bianca fan, 1000% biased. Like, I just love Bianca. She looks so badass. She can cut a promo. She can do media. Like, there's nothing Bianca Belair can't do. So if I have her back and she's ready to go, yeah, I will put a title on her immediately. So, you know, I'm gonna say Bianca as well.
Is it just me or do I miss crazy Io? Like, to me, that was hilarious. Like, I don't need friends. I hate everyone like that. I want that.
There's just always something being odd, and maybe it's just like the injuries or whatever, but there's always something that hasn't fully clicked with Damage Control for a while. The excitement when they showed up at SummerSlam was just on a different level, and then it never really took off the way that I thought that Damage Control would take off. I'm not sure if it's creative, the booking, I don't know where it's going. I think I still really enjoy Bayley's role because it's a good way to keep Bayley on our TVs busy without having her in a title match that she's going to lose, because for a period of time, Bayley was on a title picture and losing every single time, but they just never fully clicked for me. Something has always been missing there with Damage Control.
You know what would be amazing though, and I didn't think of this till just now? When Bayley is on her heel run, I want Bayley to go back and be NXT Women's Champion.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I thought that when they gave it to Becky, I was like, why not Bayley?
Because she should just be like the worst, and they should basically have it be where all of the other women are getting together and be like, how are we going to get her out of here? Like, that should be that's what should bring the NXT women's locker room to it. But it'd be an amazing flip based on what we had the first time.
I'm the biggest Bayley mark. Like, when she won PWI #1, I bought like 10 copies. But to go from Ding Dong Hello to the Riot Squad 2.0 has hurt my heart, man. That's what it is.
Flobos went there, but he's not wrong. The problem is that he's not wrong. That's why it stings.
Yeah, you're rebelling against nothing in particular. Like, what are we doing, man? Go back to that.
I love that you brought that up, because maybe that is what's not clicking, is that you always want to see Bayley be elevated, but they weren't ready to like I don't know, right? I'm just speaking out of what I assume watching as a fan. They weren't ready to put a title on her again, so you put her on all these crazy matches that she lost. That feud with Bianca was never ending. Now they put on bangers. I go back and watch some other matches, but Bailey just kept losing title shots. So what are you gonna do with her after that? And this is maybe not what I expected, but man, the return at SummerSlam was just so hype. Seeing Dakota come back, seeing Io show up, and I feel like he still hasn't lived up to the expectation, even with Io winning the title.
We'll see. I like that Io's getting this opportunity, but yeah, I think Io versus Bailey has to happen. Damage Control has to break up. Send Bailey.
I love that too.
Back to NXT. I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibility.
There's also, and maybe I'm just being maybe I'm just being a wrestling hopeless romantic. But when I see them, right, I'm only a hopeless romantic for wrestling. That's about it. But when I see them together and like their celebration with Io won, or where they do the press conference and the way these three like look at each other, you can really also tell that they're enjoying and having the time of their life, like in this run with each other. So maybe we can creatively do something to where it clicks, but it's just not clicking. But there is a part of me that knows that you can tell that they're really just enjoying that they're getting to work together. And I do love and appreciate that, because there's that legitimate, these three girls love each other factor to it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Chad W with a $5 super chat. Issa, oh hell yeah, love you guys, and thanks for the great show as always. Thank you, Chad W.
Thank you, Chad.
Oh hell yeah,
very kind of you. I like that. I feel like things are so uncertain in WWE now in this era.
Agreed.
It's exciting.
The Crown Jewel card looks really good. I know Flobo made the comment earlier about Crown Jewel maybe being the new fall like WrestleMania like, but this card is crazy. If you go back and look at Payback or Fastlane, they were good and they delivered, but they didn't have this kind of card. There's so many matches in this Crown Jewel card that I'm excited about, and I feel like a lot of them feel unpredictable, except for LA Knight and Roman. We know Roman's winning, but everything else feels so unpredictable.
Just drop an elbow.
Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna say something, Flobo? Come on.
They could not have given. So the main event was next: Jimmy Uso versus LA Knight.
Jimmy useless, Glenn.
And this was such a showcase for LA Knight's wrestling ability. When he jumped on that top rope in the corner, holy shit.
He laughed at his ability. What? He's just laughing at LA Knight's wrestling ability.
He looked great in this. He looked great in this main event.
The disrespect.
He jumped up, box jump onto the top turnbuckle.
Wow.
Onto the top rope. That was impressive. I haven't seen it. I'm trying to think of the last person I saw do that.
I can't even remember that spot, honestly.
Your indifference is making me like melt.
It's not indifference. Flobo, tell me a 5-star you must watch match that LA Knight has had on the main roster since joining WWE on the main roster.
That's a lot of question because I hate
star matches. No. I answer the question.
I don't have a star match for anyone though. I don't have one for Edge. I don't have one for Cena. I don't do star matches. I think stars are dumb.
Okay, so tell me a must-watch LA Knight match
that Mountain Dew Pitch Black match was great.
That's it was not. Everybody was shitting all over it, and because of the way that things turned out, we look at it a lot differently now.
So let me say them. Do you have to have a quote unquote 5-star match?
He hasn't done anything but win a battle royal for beef jerky.
But Glenn said he showed himself today, and you're like, it doesn't count because he didn't have a 5-star match before. That's my question.
I'm not talking about 5-star. I'm talking about things that are must-watch television that he's done.
He had a vertical jump tonight of 4 feet 8 inches. I looked it up. That's the distance from the top rope to the mat. That's impressive.
I'm not saying he's not impressive. I'm saying that's cute that you can hit that spot on your match.
I mean, in the middle of a match, it's one thing to do a box jump like that, just as like in the gym, like, hey, check out what I can do. He ran and hit. I mean, that was impressive.
Maybe he's training with CrossFit Jesus.
Oh, maybe. I'm gonna explain it.
I was saying at his mass, that's almost improbable. At his age and how big he is, that's like the 5-star with it. It's just on the athletic side.
He looked great in this match, though, and even with him winning and then Roman attacking and him not getting the best caught of him, I think he looked impressive. He's losing a crown jewel. We've established that, but LA, I mean, if I'm Seth Rollins, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I need to go spend some time with my child a little bit.
What?
LA Knight should take this title. And Seth should, maybe take a little time.
How do we get there? What? This makes no sense.
It's got to have, you can't have LA Knight be this big of a star. He's got to go to Raw after this. He's got to
he
needs the title. He needs the title.
No, he doesn't. We're going to put the United States Championship on Logan Paul, and this is where we can go. And this is how you elevate the United States Championship to Gunther status. I'm just saying. I'm not. When I tell you I want Logan Paul to win, I'm not saying I want a long-term reign. But if LA Knight, and I'm not trying to be biased here, like this is real talk. If LA Knight doesn't win, which he's not gonna, I think that putting him in a feud, like they already have a little bit of a built-in story with the Money in the Bank ladder match that they were doing. Why not do it and then pull the plug with LA Knight? I think LA Knight is the person that could elevate that title to the point of like things that like Gunther is doing with the Intercontinental Championship, especially if he gets it off of Logan Paul with the history that they have already built.
So I'm with that, and that's a perfect example. I'm not really sure what they're doing, but it looks like for me from the outside with Logan Paul, I do think he's winning at Crown Jewel because we like Rey Mysterio, but it was like a super long transitional thing. I hate Mysterio. He's a deadbeat dad. No,
correct.
I'm just kidding. But it does seem that they're going to do what Bad Bunny did when he was 24/7 champion, like put Logan Paul on this tour to make it different than Gunther, elevate it that way. So I see him having a long reign, even though he may not wrestle often, which I think that idea kind of falls apart. But LA Knight's kind of hot if you don't do anything with him. And you kind of like wait too long, then it's going to be like that movie Six on a Plane. We're like, oh, he's great. You got a championship. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give him something.
Six on a Plane.
Yeah.
That's the comparison.
That's comparison. Because for years, we're saying something come out. No, but LA Knight's hot right now. I would say give him the title now, even if it is transitional. Now, if you say, no, we have a plan for Roman Reigns and LA Knight's that guy, you have to trade him to Raw. You just have to. Because a U.S. title, an IC title run will be totally a failure for his meteoric rise right now.
Consolation prize.
Yeah, that's a word.
Cody couldn't even get that with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Finish the story.
He got the tag titles for a whole week.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Anyhow, they're taping next week's SmackDown right now. Look for spoilers online. Next week, it'll be Flobo and co-host to be announced. Issa's off and I'm off.
Yeah. Sorry, Flobo. It's going to be a surprise. You're just going to pull up and you're not going to know who's pulling up with you.
Yeah, maybe people in the chat could be my co-host. Dylan, Mark, Mike, what's up? Stanley, you around? Ricky, let's do it.
Clear that with the boss. But I like your moxie, kid. You got spirit. So that was SmackDown tonight, Tuesday, Halloween Havoc Part 2 on Halloween night. Issa, we got to dress up. We got to wear, and we're not going to have like a tandem costume, like the same thing. You're going to wear something. I'm going to wear something. It'll be a surprise. Which means that I'm going to forget about this completely. And a half an hour before the show, I'm going to look around my studio.
Yeah, and try to put a half-ass costumes together because ain't nobody going into a store to buy a costume on Tuesday. There's going to be nothing left, first of all, and it's going to be super packed.
2 years ago, when we dressed as our favorite NXT superstars and I dressed as Tony D'Angelo, I ordered things. And I ordered like 5 different hats, and none of them fit correctly.
Is he still your favorite?
I love Tony D'Angelo.
No, he's not his favorite. He was happy for Chase U. He was rooting for Chase U on Tuesday. He sold out.
I didn't root for them. I said that was such an amazing match that I was not. I was happy.
You sold out.
Tony's going to the main roster. Tony is
going to the main roster. I don't know what happened. I'll check.
Do not get any garlic bread. I'm still thinking about the pasta that we're eating like 3 NXT ago.
Oh man, pasta sounds so good right now.
Don't be on a diet. Don't be on a diet. I've been on a diet for way too long, and that pasta is been running through my head rent-free for the last 3 weeks.
I feel you. So Flobo, what do you got going on? Where can people check you out online?
You can follow me at Flobo Boyce on that X and at Blue Sky. I don't really have a costume for Halloween this year. What should I be? Let me know. Hit me up. Say what's up.
Issa, what's going on in your life?
I'm going to be, if you guys are in Puerto Rico, WWC Halloween's extravaganza. I'll be there tomorrow. Otherwise, you guys can find me on YouTube. I do watch along for most of the shows. And you guys can find me here on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Friday. Also, Lucha Libre Online, taking over the world slowly. NYC Demon Diva across all socials.
Nice. I'm at Glenn Rubenstien. Sunday, Gigantic Pop. Me, Raj Giri, Matt Morgan. The reunion continues for episode 9. I don't know what we're talking about this week. Last week we talked about Back to the Future. Great episode.
Is it movies all the time, or
it's gigantic moments in pop culture, and then there's a little bit of segues to other topics, little bit of other stuff. We mix it up. It's good.
Did you guys talk about Matt Morgan getting shot yet?
We have not talked about that in Gigantic Pop yet. That's still one of my favorite Matt Morgan revelation.
I would have opened, that would have been my first episode.
Oh yeah, you'd be a fool not to. My co-host was shot. Can I talk about it?
I mean, I think it was 5 years into podcasting with Matt Morgan, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, that time I got shot on a basketball court."
Yeah, and you guys did that on stereo randomly at midnight one night.
Yeah, he still surprises me. But yeah, I don't know. I got stuff going on. But Tuesday, Halloween Havoc Part 2. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be epic. I'm gonna think about a costume tonight. I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. Okay, everybody, have a great weekend. We'll catch you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.